In the bustling world of aviation, air traffic control towers play a vital role in ensuring safe takeoffs and landings. These towering structures dot the landscapes of airports across the United States. But some of them stand out not just for their functionality, but for their jaw-dropping heights. In this video, we'll take you on a journey to discover the 10 tallest air traffic control towers in America and explore the intriguing history behind their soaring structures. But before we delve into the dizzying heights of modern airport towers, let's step back in time. Control towers weren't always a staple of airports. In fact, they found their origins in places like battleships and industrial sites like dams. The need for dedicated air traffic control towers only arose in the 1920s, when airfields started to grow larger. The very first air traffic control tower in the world was constructed at London's Croydon Aerodrome in 1920, standing at a modest 15 feet tall. In the United States, the first radio-equipped airport tower was integrated into a new terminal at Cleveland Municipal Airport in 1929. However, it wasn't until 1941, on the cusp of World War II, that the US government began to fund the construction of airport towers. By 1945, they were operating 115 towers across the country. After World War II, control towers started getting taller, and the Phoenix Tower in 1952 was a pioneer, combining air traffic needs with cool design. Then, the FAA changed things up. Instead of paying for towers, they let airport folks design and build them. This switch led to the creation of standalone towers, which was different from before. Today, there are more than 500 towers in the US National Airspace System. When they build new towers or replace old ones, they follow strict rules set by the FAA to figure out how tall each tower should be. The aim is to make them as short as possible while still making sure air traffic controllers can see everything they need to. Controllers need a clear view of all the planes, runways, taxiways, and where vehicles are moving. They also have to tell planes apart and see well, even when the lighting is different. With these considerations, let's explore the top 10 tallest air traffic control towers in the United States. Miami Tower. Starting off with Miami International Airport, it boasts a remarkable control tower, which at 332 feet, stands tall as a sentinel in the skies. Opened in 2002, this tower represents the latest chapter in a long history of air traffic facilities. Dating back to 1941, the story begins with the very first tower, which had a rather unexpected start. It was originally used as a judging stand and timing tower for the All-American Air Maneuvers. However, due to the increasing air traffic, it found a new purpose and remained in place. But as time passed, the need for a more modern and efficient control tower became apparent. So, in 2002, the current tower was constructed, just 90 yards away from its predecessor, which had been in use since 1985. It was a significant upgrade, representing the latest in air traffic control technology. Now, here's a fascinating tidbit. When the time came to retire the old tower, it wasn't a simple demolition. Instead, it was carefully dismantled, piece by piece, with each section weighing a hefty 19 tons. This meticulous process took place in 2006, marking the end of an era. Cleveland Tower. Cleveland Hopkins International Airport has a really tall control center, like a giant building that stands 324 feet high. This cool building opened in 2015 and has become famous worldwide. Even important people from other countries came to see it because it's super high-tech. But what makes this tower even more special is that it's a part of a long history of aviation in Cleveland. A long time ago, in 1925, Cleveland was the first place in the US where a special field for airplanes was made. It's also where they put up the very first control tower, like a lookout tower for planes, and the first lights to help planes fly safely at night. Before this new tower, there was another one since 1987, showing how the airport has been getting better and bigger over time. Houston Tower. At George Bush Intercontinental Airport, a large control tower keeps watch over Houston's busy sky. Since 1997, this tower, which soars at a height of 328 feet, has served as the center of air traffic operations. It's interesting to note that the airport's new name, George H.W. Bush International Airport, was given the same year. But here's where the story gets intriguing. Before the current tower, there stood another, a true aviation icon. This tower, designed by the renowned architect I.M. Pei, opened its doors in 1969. At 170 feet tall, it was the first and tallest of the FAA's Pei-designed towers, making it a piece of aviation history. Today, this earlier tower still stands proudly, and it's being considered for designation as a historic landmark. In 2018, it even took on a new role, hosting an interactive art exhibit, showcasing its adaptability and enduring significance. So, when you glimpse of the control tower at George Bush Intercontinental Airport, remember that it's not just one tower. It's a reflection of Houston's aviation heritage. It's a testament to the ever-evolving world of air traffic control and a nod to the past, where two towers stand side by side, each with its own unique story to tell. Las Vegas Tower. Let's talk about the control tower at Harry Reid International Airport, or LAS. It's number 3 on our list and stands pretty tall at 362.8 feet, which is about as high as a 36-story building. Now, what's special about this tower? Well, it's not too old. It's a relatively new addition to the airport. They unveiled it in 2016, and it's here to replace the older, shorter tower that stood at 200 feet. One of the cool new things about this new tower is its design. It's got something unique called a beamless cab. Basically, this design gives air traffic controllers a much better view of the airport, making their jobs easier and more efficient. Imagine it like having a 360-degree panoramic view of the airport. But that's not all. When they built this tower, they didn't just stop at the tower itself. They spent around $40 million to create the whole package. Alongside the tower, they built a terminal radar approach control building, or TRACON, which is like the brain of the operation, helping guide planes in and out of the airport. And there's more. They even added a 2-story parking garage, so you can have a spot to park your car while you're busy enjoying the Las Vegas Strip. Now, here's a fun fact. To make sure this towering structure stays steady, they installed something called a tuned mass damper on the 16th level. It's like a big counterweight that keeps the tower from swaying too much, especially on windy days. Inside the tower, there are 2 levels. The lower one is where the ground controllers work their magic, making sure planes are safe on the runway. Upstairs, on the main level, you'll find local controllers who handle everything related to departures and approaches. It's like an organized command center in the sky. Orlando Tower. Number 5 on our list is the remarkable control tower at Orlando International Airport, or MCO. Standing tall at 345 feet, this tower is not just a part of the airport. It's a global standout, ranking as the 10th tallest tower in the world. Let's take a trip down memory lane to 2002, when this magnificent skyscraper first began to take flight. The Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA Tower, and the U.S. Air Force, or USAF Control Tower, were the airport's previous 2 towers, which stood there before it arrived. With the debut of the new tower, the FAA Tower was brought down, and the USAF Tower ceased its operations. It marked a turning point for Orlando International Airport, setting the stage for tremendous growth in passenger numbers. Fast forward to 2017, and MCO was serving nearly 45 million passengers. That's a lot of travelers. In fact, it became the busiest airport in the entire state, leaving Miami International Airport in its contrail. But what's fascinating about this tower, apart from its height, is that it added an extra 126 feet of perspective for the air traffic controllers when it opened in 2002. Think of it as getting an upgraded view from your office window. Interestingly, Orlando Airport still goes by the airport code MCO. Why, you ask? Well, that's because of its history as part of McCoy Air Force Base, which it was known as until 1975. So, when you see MCO on your boarding pass, you'll know it's a nod to the airport's past as an Air Force base. Indianapolis Tower. Prepare to be amazed as we journey to Indianapolis International Airport, or IND, home to the 4th tallest control tower in the United States. The towering structure reaches an impressive height of 349.5 feet, which is equivalent to a soaring 35-story building. In the year 2006, when this modern marvel was born, back in 1996, Indianapolis Airport experienced a massive surge in passenger numbers. To cope with this growth, they devised a grand plan, not just for a new control tower, but also for a state-of-the-art terminal building. The price tag for this ambitious project? A jaw-dropping $1.1 billion. funded by a combination of government and private resources. Construction began in 2003, and just 3 short years later, in April 2006, the tower stood tall, ready to take on the skies. But what sets this tower apart from the rest? Well, it's not just a control tower. It's a 2-level TRACON facility. TRACON, the behind-the-scenes maestro, plays a vital role in guiding planes safely to and from the airport. Now picture this. The control cab, where the air traffic controllers work their magic, is designed without any obstructive beams. Its seamless glass windows provide these controllers with a breathtaking, unobstructed 360-degree view of the bustling airfield. It's like having eyes in the sky, watching over everything. To add to the marvel, the tower's strategic location grants controllers a phenomenal visibility range of up to 5 miles on a clear day. It's as if they have a superpowered telescope, keeping a watchful eye on the horizon. So the next time you find yourself in Indianapolis, or merely passing through, take a moment to marvel at this architectural wonder. It's not just a tower, it's the guardian of the skies, ensuring safe and efficient air travel in and out of the bustling airport. Memphis Tower. We continue our journey through the heights of control towers, and now we're touching down at Memphis International Airport. The control tower here stands tall at 336 feet, and it's a story worth hearing. Let's go back in time to 1977, when a shorter 186-foot tower at Memphis International Airport first opened its doors, before we discuss the current tower. It's interesting to note that this occurred only 4 years after FedEx started operations here and made this airport their global center. As the airport grew in size and the number of flights skyrocketed, the need for a bigger and more advanced control tower became evident. In 2011, the current tower was built to meet these demands. And here's a twist. As soon as the new tower went operational, the old one met its fate and was demolished. Out with the old, in with the new. Now, here's a fascinating piece of history. Back in 1938, air traffic controllers at Memphis Airport used to handle traffic from a cab perched atop the airport terminal. Think of it like a control center with a great view. But things evolved quickly, and in 1963, the first freestanding 9-story tower rose into the Memphis skies. So, as you can see, this control tower isn't just a structure, it's part of Memphis's aviation history. It witnessed the growth of FedEx and the airport's transformation into a global hub. Denver Tower. In 1995, Denver didn't just get a new control tower, it got an entirely new airport. This marked the birth of the first major metropolitan airport constructed in the United States in 2 decades. And at the heart of this impressive new airport was the Denver Tower, reaching a soaring height of 333 feet. When it made its debut, it proudly held the title of tallest control tower in the entire United States. Now, before this gleaming new tower came into the picture, Denver's air traffic flowed through Stapleton International Airport, a history dating all the way back to 1929. The first control tower at Stapleton took its place in 1941, and it received upgrades in 1953 and 1967. But the opening of the new Denver International Airport in 1995 was a game changer. This airport was a symbol of modernity and innovation, and its towering control tower was a testament to that. It's not just a tower, it's part of Denver's aviation history and the pride of the mile-high city. Charlotte Tower. Now let's take a look at the control tower at Charlotte Douglas International Airport, or CLT. It's the second tallest in the country, and here's why it's so fascinating. First of all, CLT is a major gateway for planes coming in and out of the Charlotte metropolitan area. It's not just about passengers, it's a hub for both commercial and military flights. But what really makes this airport stand out is its role in the big airline merger between US Airways and American Airlines in 2013. After that, it became the second largest hub for the newly merged American Airlines, right after Dallas-Fort Worth International, or DFW. With this merger came a surge in the number of passengers passing through the airport. More passengers mean more planes, and more planes mean they needed more runway space. So they decided to build a 4th runway, and guess what? A new control tower came with it. Now, this new control tower is pretty impressive. It reaches a height of 370 feet, making it the second tallest control tower in the United States. To give you an idea of its size, it's like stacking 3 average-sized houses on top of each other. The control tower has a cab on top, which is like the lookout room, and it's 850 square feet big. Beneath that, there's a massive base building that covers a whopping 42,000 square feet. That's a lot of space. But here's the coolest part. This tower wasn't around forever. Before this one, there was a smaller tower that stood at 150 feet. When they built the new runway, they decided it was time for a tower upgrade, and they didn't hold back. The Federal Aviation Administration replaced the old tower with this new, much taller one, giving air traffic controllers a much better view of everything happening at the airport. This amazing tower was completed in 2019, and ever since, it's been standing tall and proud, guiding planes safely in and out of Charlotte. So, next time you're at CLT or just passing by, you can look up and appreciate the impressive structure that helps keep the skies over Charlotte safe and organized. Atlanta Tower. Imagine an airport with the tallest control tower in the whole United States, standing as tall as a 40-story building. Well, that's exactly what you'll find at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, or ATL. This towering marvel was built in 2006, and it reaches a staggering height of 398 feet. That's about 121 meters. To put it into perspective, it's even taller than the Statue of Liberty. Not only is it the tallest in the US, but it's also the 5th tallest control tower in the world. Now, before this super tall tower came along, there was a smaller one that stood at 231 feet, around 70 meters. But in 2006, it had to make way for this new giant. Why did they need such a tall tower, you ask? Well, it all started in the year 2000, when the airport realized it needed a 5th runway to handle more planes. The 5th runway was completed along with this impressive control tower. With this new setup, the airport became one of the very few in the world where 3 planes can land at the same time on 3 different runways. The control tower's height gives air traffic controllers a clear view of the entire runway and the whole airport area. Now, Atlanta Airport is a bustling hub with up to 237 takeoffs and landings happening every hour. It's the largest airport in the US when it comes to the number of passengers traveling through it. It's like a constantly busy bee's nest in the sky. So, next time you're at ATL or flying over it, remember that you're near the tallest control tower in the country. And it's making sure everything runs smoothly in the sky above Atlanta. In our journey through the skies and across the United States, we've explored 10 remarkable control towers, each with its own unique story. From the soaring heights of Atlanta to the innovative design of Orlando, these towers play a crucial role in keeping our skies safe and our airports bustling with activity. But these towers aren't just structures of steel and glass. They are symbols of progress, innovation, and a testament to the rich history of aviation in the United States. From the historic beginnings in Cleveland, where the first control tower and airfield lighting system took flight, to the more modern marvels in Denver and Miami, these towers have witnessed the evolution of air travel. As we conclude our journey through these remarkable control towers, we'd love to know which one captured your imagination the most. Was it the towering heights of Atlanta or the rich history of Cleveland? Share your favorite in the comments section below. And if you'd like to keep exploring fascinating topics like these or have more questions on your mind, don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing insights and information. The sky's the limit when it comes to knowledge, and we're here to help you reach new heights. Subscribe now and join us on this incredible journey of discovery.